welcome back to another episode. In this episode, I will share with you how you can transition to more of a plant-based diet, how you can incorporate more plant-based foods into your lifestyle. I think a lot of times, and I get this question a lot, people want to eat more plant-based for a variety of different reasons. Either they want to lower their blood pressure naturally, they don't want to take medications, they are trying to lose weight, or maybe they have pre-diabetes and they don't want to develop diabetes, and so they're wanting to eat more of a plant-based diet to reduce their chances of developing diabetes. Or you could just want to be healthy and reduce the chances of getting chronic conditions that you've seen people in your life become afflicted with. And I think oftentimes when people think about plant-based, they think that they have to go plant-based overnight, and it seems like so big and overwhelming, and it seems so tasking. But I struggled when I was going plant-based. It took me a couple of years actually to become fully plant-based. I was like hooked on cheese like nobody's business. And so I'm happy to share with you some tips to make the process a lot easier for you, a lot smoother, and a lot simpler, right? Because who wants complicated? Nobody. Okay, so first off is your mindset. You have to have a clear, solid reason for why you're wanting to eat more plant-based. And I like to write things down, write the vision, make it plain. So write it down somewhere on a piece of paper that you will see multiple times during the day. And it could be a paper that you put on your refrigerator, something you put on your desk of your why. Second thing is you don't have to go plant-based overnight and just throw out everything in your house that's not vegan. And then also a vegan diet is not necessarily healthy. You can be vegan and be completely unhealthy. If you're eating a lot of processed foods, French fries are vegan, Oreos are vegan, Impossible Burgers are vegan, but these are not healthy foods. These are not foods that you want to be consuming a lot of. And so the first thing is increase the amount of fruits and vegetables that you're eating, because chances are if you're not on a plant-based diet, you're not getting nearly enough fruits and vegetables. And when I was doing primary care, I would ask people how many servings of fruit and vegetables they were getting a day. And I was blown away at how little people were getting. I'm talking about like 1 or 2 servings. And people often would say they don't like vegetables or they don't like fruit. And I'm like, how do you not like vegetables? There's like hundreds of vegetables. How can you say you don't like vegetables as a whole, as a group? I can understand not liking 1 vegetable or 2 vegetables, but you don't like vegetables at all? And that's a problem. Okay, we need to work on you liking vegetables, or just eat them anyway because they're so good for you. But anyway, I digress. So increase the amount of fruits and vegetables that you're eating. A good rule of thumb is to make half of the food on your plate fruit and vegetables. And I like to eat more vegetables. I even eat vegetables for breakfast sometimes. So it doesn't have to be fruit. I would stick with more vegetables. So you're fixing dinner, for example, a plate of food. Half of the plate is vegetables, different color vegetables. So eat the rainbows, a term that people say often, which means eat different color vegetables. So I have some sauteed spinach, which is green, and then have some squash, some butternut squash, which is orange, and then you may have some red peppers. So you have different color vegetables on your plate. Is a good place to start, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to get so caught up in the labels and saying, okay, I'm plant-based now, I'm vegan, but then you end up eating a lot of processed food and not enough fruits and vegetables. Like that defeats the purpose, right? So increase the fruit and vegetables significantly. Half of your plate should be fruit and vegetables. The second thing is you can do is have 1 vegan meal a day, or you could do something like meatless Monday. But I think once a week is not enough. I would say if you're trying to eat more plant-based, I would say 1 meal a day that's fully plant-based is a good place to start. And what you can do is veganize the meals that you love. You'll be surprised. Just about every dish that you love, that you're used to eating with chicken or cheese, can be made to taste delicious vegan. You can veganize it. Google and YouTube is your friend for looking at recipes. And so I used to use that a lot when I was starting off vegan. Let's say I wanted to make spaghetti and meat sauce. That's real easy, right? Or like lasagna. I would just look up vegan lasagna and see what ingredients they were using in place of ground turkey, because I used to eat ground turkey. So some of the substitutes would be like sauteed mushrooms, lentils, and then now they have the Beyond and Impossible burger as well. So those are options too for when you're transitioning. But keep in mind, those are not healthy. The processed meats are not healthy. So there really should be foods to transition and like on certain occasions or infrequent use, basically. But those are options that you have there. And so the next tip that I want to share is to find vegan support. For some reason, when you say that you're going vegan, everybody is a nutritionist. Your best friend all of a sudden has a degree in nutrition, and she wants to give you unsolicited advice on what you should be eating, what you shouldn't be eating, and tries to sow seeds of doubt into your brain. But you have to just block it. Just block it. So find people who support the lifestyle that you are trying to live, right? If you're somebody that's on drugs, you are trying to get off drugs. So what are you going to do? Stop going on the corner. Stop hanging around the people that are doing drugs, because when you're around them, you're more likely going to do the drugs. So it's the same thing with regards to wanting to stop eating meat and dairy. You're going to have to find people that are where you want to be, people that are eating plant-based. You can find them on Facebook. There's meetups. There's vegan meetups in any city. Well, the city I live in has vegan meetups. So I will go on Eventbrite and see what vegan meetups they have at a vegan restaurant, or go to vegan restaurants and you will meet people. And then you'll be surprised too, once you start talking about plant-based foods, you may find that some of the friends that you already associate with are actually plant-based, but you didn't know or were not aware of it. So your friend circle has to change. Anytime you're changing a habit, especially if it's not mainstream, you are going to have to find people that are where you want to be. That goes for anything. You know, when I decided I wanted to go to medical school, I started shadowing physicians. I started speaking to people that were in medical school, speaking to people that were physicians. When I decided I wanted to start a business, I started to speak to people that had business. So anything that you want to do in life, if it's something that out of the ordinary, you will have to find people that are where you want to be. And if you're someone who has a network who's completely unsupportive, let's say your spouse is not supportive, your children are not supportive, sit down with them and share with them your reasoning for going plant-based and bring them on board. You know, if you're speaking with them and sharing the benefits of eating healthier, say, hey, I'm going to live longer, I'm going to have more energy, I'm going to be happier, I'm going to look younger, I'm going to feel younger. I mean, who wouldn't want that? So when you focus on the benefits of eating more of a plant-based diet, that's a selling point for your resistant family members. And the second thing also with regards to not having a support system, I hear people sometimes say that their healthcare team, their primary care physician is not supportive of plant-based diet. That is very tragic to me, but I understand it because traditional medicine does a terrible job, in my opinion, of educating us on plant-based nutrition. It does a terrible job of educating physicians, period, on nutrition at all. Physicians get very little nutrition training in medical school. And so those of us that have taken an interest in prevention and holistic health, plant-based nutrition, have taken courses and further education on our own after medical school and after residency. So just understand that your physician just doesn't know. And so extend some grace, some patience, and some understanding. And it may be helpful to maybe share an article that may be helpful. And there are plant-based physicians that are doing primary care, so you can look online and find one. But I don't think that anyone should be criticizing someone's diet who's plant-based, because it's not like you're saying you're eating potato chip and sugar every day. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like the mindset is so backwards in our society, I think. It's like if someone were to say, I'm going to eat fried chicken, rice, and salad, and I'm going to eat, regular animal products. Like, nobody has an issue with that. Like, people don't have an issue seeing people eat unhealthy foods on a regular basis. But all of a sudden, you decide you want to eat healthier and everybody's tripping. Like you just said, you want to eat lead. It's like, make it make sense. It makes no sense, right? So you have to understand, why are they treating you this way? Most likely they feel guilty. Most likely they know in their spirit that they eat unhealthy, and they know that they need to change their diet. But because they're not there yet, seeing you make progress is making them feel a little bit uncomfortable. And maybe a little bit of jealousy, because maybe they wish they had the discipline to do it. Maybe they feel a little bit inadequate, but you have to kind of understand that where they're coming from is not really a healthy place, in my opinion. For most people, I think. I don't think that most people that have a very harsh negative reaction to someone saying that they want to eat healthier and more plant-based, I don't think that's coming from a healthy place. I think most times it's coming from a place of inadequacy and their own guilt and their own feelings about how they're eating. because I noticed that there seems to be peer pressure for some reason to eat unhealthy. It's like people will be like, oh, just have one French fry or just have one chocolate bar. You know, if you're at a party and there's cake, there's ice cream, and there's all these desserts, and you practice temperance and you say, I'm not going to have dessert, or you say, I'll have a small piece of cake. There's always someone that's like, have a bigger piece. Come on, it's just one day. And so it's just like, I don't know why we do this in our society. It's like peer pressure, like in high school, peer pressure to do bad things, peer pressure to do the wrong thing. So you kind of just have to really work on your mindset and just block out the negativity, honestly, because it will come. It will come. But if you focus on increasing the fruit and vegetables, making one meal a day vegan, that's a good place to start, and just increasing from there. Finding vegan support system and using Google, YouTube to find vegan recipes, vegan versions of your favorite dishes, and experiment. Think of cooking vegan as a fun experiment. That's how I used to think of it. Sometimes the dish didn't work out. Sometimes it wasn't something that I wanted to eat afterwards, but that's okay. But after making it 10, 20, 50, hundreds of times, you finally master it, right? So now I can say I have mastery of plant-based cooking. There is no dish that I cannot make right now vegan with no experience. But it's because of the years and years and years of practice of cooking and baking. I just know and understand how recipes go together. I know and understand how food goes together. And so I can make pretty much any dish for the first time right now vegan, and it will taste good. But it wasn't like that in the beginning. In the beginning, some of those dishes tasted horrible, and I had to throw some things away. And I don't like throwing food away. I do not like wasting food, okay? So think of it as an experiment. Say, once a week, I'm going to try and make a new recipe. And if your family doesn't like it in the beginning, I'm sorry. Maybe you might need to make 2 versions of it if your family is really resistant. Every family is different. I can't tell you what to do with your family, but I think if you speak to them on your why, bring them in on it so that it feels like a family decision. Bring the kids in the kitchen, let them cook with you, cook with your spouse, go grocery shopping together as a family so that it feels like it's something that we're all doing together to improve the family's health, as opposed to it feeling like it's a mandate or a law, because people, especially adults, don't really like to be told what to do. People don't like to feel like they don't have choice and agency. So I think if you make it more like an activity that's going to benefit the whole family, they may be more receptive to it. Now, I do know some people who, when they found out about the plant-based lifestyle, overnight, they threw out everything in their house that had meat and dairy in it. They didn't even consult with their spouse. Now, I wouldn't recommend that because I think that's a bit of a dictatorship. But I know people that did that. They like, I threw out everything, and then I told my husband, both cases were women, they were like, I told my husband that the whole house is going plant-based. So to each their own. That's what they say, to each their own. But make it more of an activity. Bring them in on the decision making. So those are my tips for eating more plant-based. But to recap, it all starts with your mind. Forget the labels. Don't make it like a chore. Like, oh my goodness, I have to be vegan. I have to be fully vegan. And, if I eat chicken today, oh my gosh, I failed. Don't think of it like that. You don't even have to be fully plant-based, to be honest. I don't think that a healthy diet is synonymous with plant-based. There are multiple ways to eat a healthy diet. Definitely, most of the food that you're eating should be of a plant-based source, but you can eat some organic free-range chicken. You can eat some fish, if you feel that you need that as a part of your diet, right? I'm not into this, all or none, black or white, where it's like some people in the vegan community think that everybody has to be 100% vegan. And if you're not 100% vegan, you're not going to see benefits. That's nonsense. When I was doing primary care, and even, I have a plant-based course that I launched in 2022. I'm planning to launch another course soon, slightly different, but I notice benefits in all of my clients and my patients, regardless of whether they eventually became fully plant-based. Actually, it was very rare for anyone to be fully, like 100%. But any way that you're moving the needle towards eating more plant-based is going to be better. You will see benefit. Your blood pressure, your blood sugar, your weight will improve. Okay, so let that be an encouragement. You're on the right path. You're doing the right thing. Don't worry about the haters, because the haters will be there. Okay, and if you have any questions, you feel like you need like a little bit of support, reach out to me. My website is below. You can email me, send me a message. Definitely would love to help and support you along in your journey. And soon I will be, my thing that I really love is online courses, programs, and speaking. So soon I plan to launch a group program for people who want to eat more plant-based, or also people of faith who also want to pray and grow in faith as well. So stay tuned for that. If you're not on my email list, my website will be below. And also, I'd love if you subscribe to the channel. It really helps. The more followers that I have, it shows the videos to more people. And I appreciate you for watching. Thank you so much. And I will see you in the next episode.